So we're going to talk about this inventory setup. I think, I'm almost positive that you don't, well, I know you don't mage very much, and I'm almost positive that the reason that you have this inventory setup is because you're super afraid that they're going to get in front of you on ground and cade you out a lot, which is like, it's okay, but you really shouldn't be afraid of it, because you should be positioning in a way, like, you should be aiming to position in a way where, like, that's not possible for them to do that. So, the explodes, the 6 explodes, it's a lot of explodes, but it's actually okay if you use these explodes to get extra casts in the spawn, like in the base. Because there will be times when you're in spawn, when Poog is hinting, and you're standing under people, where you will not want to cast if you don't have that many explodes, because you won't be able to blockade if they set it under them. So these enable you to get extra casts in spawn if you play it right. But I don't think that that's why you take these. I think you take these and you save them in your inventory until they get down ground, because you're afraid that they're going to mass cade you out on the ground, which they should never be able to do. You shouldn't let them be in a position to do that. So that's kind of theoretically bad. Now that we're past that point, imbued heart, times 2 speed, freeze this guy. Should go for a cast on this guy while this guy is frozen over here, but you're not going to, because you're slow to rotate your screen, I guess. Now, watch what happens here when these guys come up spawn. It's kind of the same thing. You cast this guy, right? Fine. Nothing wrong with that. Now, he goes down, you go down. Why? So, this is the problem with when you go back down, right? You come up, this is the initial position that you're in, right? He's far away from the cades, you're close to the cades, he has to run to you, he's got a lot of distance to close before he gets to you. You have lots of time to react and do things. Now, you cast some, you splash, he goes back down, waits for his teammate, that's what he's supposed to do. I was just talking to Slayer about this in the other video, right? Now, as this guy is about to come up, right? Actually, he went up a little bit early, but as this guy is about to come up, right? Now look what happens because you're down here. That guy is literally right there. He's like 1 step away from the staircase. This guy, right? This guy right here is literally moving right here, right next to you. So by the time that you guys click to walk, actually, if you click to cast him in general, you're behind him. You're actually behind him if you click to cast him, because you have to wait for the cast animation delay. And this guy will come up the tick after you because he was a tick away. And he will be on the exact same tick as you. So you have no time to do anything. You have no time to react, no time to do anything. They're basically in front of you, right? Now, watch what would happen. Watch what would happen, though. Think about what would happen if you had stayed up here and didn't go back down the stairs for no reason, right? You stay up here, you don't go back down the stairs for no reason. You cast this guy when he comes back up the ladder straight away, when he's over here. And then you run over here. And then by the time he gets, like, here, or near here, you can cast him again. You cast him and his teammate comes up, you cast them both. That's 3 casts that you didn't get that you could have got. Already 3 lost casts, right? And that's just at the very start. Now watch what happens, because you're like on the same tick as them and you have no time to react and you're kind of rushed and panicking. Poog isn't, because he was up here already, right? So Poog is ready to tend everything. That's why like this goes so well for you guys, because he didn't go down. He didn't like go to hit this guy on ladder or anything. He was just ready, right? So he was ready and you weren't, basically, because of what you did. So if you watch, then you get this cast and they stand next to each other, so you get a free freeze, which they didn't have to. That guy could have stayed on the stairs and then ran off after you casted, which would have been smarter. And then you get that cast, right? You would have got that cast there anyways, and much faster and more efficiently if you had stayed up here. Plus you would have got these 3 casts, so that would have been 5 casts that you would have got already before they even get to the second set of cades. Now you're trying to go and stop these guys again right here. And you have, I already talked about your inventory, right? You're running under him. You're running under him, you're scared that he's going to get in front of you, and you're running under him, you're panicked. You have all these explodes. You don't need to be panicked and running under him like this. And all you need to do is stand over here, right-click him again, freeze him. Or like cast him and then click your explode, see if he sets a Cade. If he doesn't, then you cast him again and again and again. You get so many more casts, right? That's why you have these. So now you're under him. You're kind of panicked. You don't really know what's going on. You miss a cast on him because you're scared that you're not going to get outside lane. But this is Poog's job to get outside lane, right? And of course, you know that it's Poog's job to get outside lane. You wouldn't be trying to do what you're trying to do right now if you weren't panicked because you left yourself the space here and you were thinking properly. You wouldn't be doing this. So you lose a cast again. There's another one. And actually, it's 2 casts. Well, damage-wise, it would be 2 casts. You're going to hit him with it, too. So you lose 2 casts. So you lost 3 casts, 5 casts already. Now, this guy steps over. He blows it up. Poog lights his Cade, as expected. Now you step over here. Now you're in the wrong lane because you moved off the Cade. So now you're in the wrong spot. You're in a spot where you're going to have to move again or get ready to blow up a Cade. You're in a bad spot now that you shouldn't have been in because you're panicked. You get 1 cast. You probably could have got 4. Like, probably could have got this cast. Well, you would have got a cast straight away. It would have hit them both when he was standing here if you would have played it right from the beginning. And then you could have blew this Cade up under him. You could have casted him again when he was stepping over. Gotten another 2 casts, so that's 4 casts. Because they still would be standing next to each other. Then he's over here, you get another cast while he's walking over there, and then another cast while he's blowing this up. So you lost, like, there's a lot of casts being lost, right? Now you almost used your bucket on that by accident. All of this is happening because you're mentally behind your clicking. Like, your mind is not in front of your clicking. Your mind is behind your clicking, trying to catch up to your clicking because you lost your space here. So now you get this cast. If we think about it, though, you lost 1 over here, then you lost a double cast, then you lost another double cast, you lost another double cast, and then you lost a single cast. So yeah, you lost 1, 3, 5, 7, almost 8. Yeah, like you lost almost 8, but you lost a lot of casts. You lost 8 casts, right? You lost 8 casts because you gave up this space. Now, the key to take away from this, which applies to pretty much everything on defense, in every role of defense, is that you don't want to give up your space for free for no fucking reason. You want to keep your space, like, you want to keep the scorers spaced out away from you. Like, you don't want to give your fucking space up to the scorers for free. You're letting them win. If you give them the space and let them on to, like, right here, where you guys were at the stairs, and they're on the same tick as you, you have no space to work with. You have no time to react to anything. And they can pretty much, it's very easy. It's very easy for them to outplay you. If you have this space here, right, or you're back here, like you're back tending, for instance, right? If you try to back tend these 2 without a call out, right, for instance, they're right next to this Cade. And they're only 1 tick from this Cade. So it's very easy for them to go through in comparison if you don't have a call out here. As if you were to set these 2 and then set these 2 and then just tend these 2 from the start. Because they have to use a tick and then another tick to get here, or they have to use 3 ticks, 4 ticks, who knows? You got to use a lot of time to get from there to the second set of Cades as opposed to from here to here, right? So the key to it to remember basically is that when you're versing scorers and you have this space, right? They're coming to you and you have lots of time to stop them from doing whatever they're going to do. And then you say, well, if I light these Cades in front, right, and then they're right next to me after I start casting, so the space is gone, right? But the thing is, by lighting these, or having these lit, or being here, and having all this time to think about what you're going to do, you can think about the best thing to do in every situation for what the scorer is going to do, and be ready. And on top of it, you can pretty much force them to do what you want them to do, as opposed to reacting to what they're going to do. So you'll win in that situation. But yeah, that's the key to take away from it, is the scorers have to come to you and not the other way around, and you start in front of them. So all you have to do is not let them in front of you. especially in a 2v2, 3v3. Your only job is to not let them in front of you,